Hello YouTube friends, Alicia back here. I know it's been quite a while again. I just haven't had the ambition to do videos lately, or a whole lot of crafting to be honest, but I have finished this journal for a friend. It is clearly a Marilyn Monroe journal. I think it's the biggest journal I've ever made, like chunkiest, not size-wise, journal I've ever made. There is lots of space for writing and things like that, but it's not really meant for writing. It's just meant for pictures and things like that, and her to do whatever she wants with. She doesn't do a lot of writing, but yeah. So I just tied it with vintage seam binding, which, if anybody knows me or watches my channel, I love my vintage seam binding, and this is one of my favorite colors in real life, not just for seam binding, but anyways. So it is, I don't know how big the spine is. It's large. I used a Ritz cracker box, and then I did the pamphlet stitch, and I covered it in this burgundy stretchy lace. I just had a little piece of it, so I used it on the cover and then inside, and then the cover here is covered with it's adhesive like paper. It's not Mac Tack. It's actually in the crafting section at Dollarama, but it's not super sticky. I should have added more adhesive. And it just comes on a roll. I printed off a picture of Marilyn Monroe, added corners, and then added book corners as well, and added some gold trim that I had in my stash on the cover. And then on the inside cover, it is just red metallic paper that I get at I don't know if it's Dollar Tree or Dollarama, but I get them at a dollar store. So we can just go inside. I added lots of lace and pictures of Marilyn Monroe. I used a couple of digital kits for like the little circles and big circles, but obviously there's not tons of available digital kits. And so most of the images all of the images I printed off the internet. I used to have a Marilyn Monroe book, and I need to make another Marilyn Monroe journal, and somebody's actually sending me a book, but I gave that to a friend, well, the same friend that I made this journal for, so I didn't have the images from the book, so I went digital. This is a printable. So it's quite plain, actually. The only reason it's so chunky is, I don't know why there's a random paper clip there, is all the lace. But, yeah, so I did some journaling. Like, these will come out, you can write on them or do whatever. I did stenciling. I made this stencil. It's just one I did with my Scan and Cut a number of years ago. I use it all the time. It's just on acetate. Coffee dyed paper. Pocket. I love the images on the back, and yes, I just printed on scrapbooking paper. I have so much scrapbooking paper that I want to use that I also want to include the images that I just printed on the back. Another image I just added. That's Tsunami Rose. Glassine bag with the picture inside. This is to do with her modeling. And then, of course, that's from, I believe, the 7-Year Itch, the famous scene. I don't know. I really don't know a lot about Marilyn Monroe. Well, I know more now since doing this journal and some other projects with her, but... Sorry, I was getting a sip of my coffee. I didn't know much about her until recently. center of the signature. I love this picture. This is just junk mail, an envelope, and I cut it down. Apparently I have black ink on my stenciling. This is a stencil I made as well. Just somewhere to write. Sorry, I am shaky. I've been having trouble with headaches. Another glassine bag. I like the gray tags. I got them from a thrift store. And I know you can alter glassine bags, but I like the look of the glassine bag. And so I know a lot of people cover them, but, and I like the look of them when they're done, but I like the look and I like the feel of them. So I figure if I'm covering the glassine bag, it kind of defeats the point of using a glassine bag, because you can't tell it's glassine by the time it's all covered. Now I know it works really well with like napkin and stuff, but yeah, I want to see the image through the bag. So I left it. I like that picture too. I like it explains all her sizes and stuff, because you know she wasn't particularly big. Like, I mean, she only weighed 118 pounds, which is about my weight, but she was really short, and so yeah, she wasn't really big and she wasn't really small, and she's not ashamed of that, and I think that's cool. And a lot of the pictures that you'll find have been colorized because, I guess back in the time, you know, when she started, the quality of the pictures weren't going to be as nice as, you know, you can get them today. So people have colorized a lot of pictures. You know, you can see that here. Some of them are not, but yeah. And then I added the ice cream for no other reason than I think it's fun. Some of her quotes. Love this. It's a die I got from AliExpress. I need to do an AliExpress haul. I've got, my stuff has started coming in fairly fast now. So, but yeah. And this glitter paper is also from the dollar store, and I just backed it onto cardstock to make a pocket. Here's another glassine bag here. There's nothing in it, so she can put whatever she wants in it. I think a Marilyn Monroe journal would be fun to use as like a journal when you're dating. Just because of who Marilyn Monroe was. You know, she wasn't necessarily... Well, she wasn't ashamed of much. I guess we'll just put it that way. So I think it would be fun to add pictures when you start dating and all the way through, if you end up getting married or whatever. But that's just me, coming from a single girl. I don't know. Some paper clips I did with some glittered rickrack from my thrift store. I also really like this black rose paper. I only had 2 sheets of it. I used them both in here. This is just a card. I figured it can be written on or pictures on the back. It was just the roses. And I don't know. Roses have nothing to do with Marilyn Monroe as far as I know, but she just seemed like she would like roses. More of my normal style. Just adding scraps. But anyways. Another die from AliExpress in that red paper. I like the way that looks. I love this tag. You're not going to be able to tell, but it's fuzzy. It's black, like faux velvet or whatever. And it's adhesive. I bought it off of Amazon. It's not particularly cheap. It's almost $1 a sheet, but it is worth it because, like I said, I love it. And it comes in all different colors, so I have the black right now, and then I will be ordering more colors soon. An applique. Another ice cream cone, because they're fun. They're from old cards from Michaels. This opens up, there's nothing in it. It's just clipped on with a little tag with gold adhesive paper. Another Michaels card. I like this. I like black lace, and I have tons of lace, like totes, multiple totes full, but one of the things I don't have is tons of black lace. I don't know, it's not that easy to find from the thrift store, so, and that's where I buy most of mine. I like this one too. There's lots of pictures with her in this dress, just different backgrounds. Like I said, they've been colorized. So it still feels, like I said, very plain because there is nothing. If there's no pictures, there's literally nothing on the pages. And I don't know if I'm going to go back and do something about that or not. I'll talk to my friend about it and then see what she wants. I like the way the printing, the black and white printing worked on the coffee dyed paper. And I have a laser printer in black and white, so I can I can print on my black and white and then coffee dye it after if I choose to. But those ones were coffee dyed and then printed first. Printed after, but anyways. Model release. Oh, I thought the other one that I showed was model release. I don't know what the other picture was that I showed you was. Another one that's been colorized. And then on the back, there's just a pocket, and then it's a CD envelope. And I was going to put quotes in here by her, and then my friend can put them throughout the book or do whatever she wants. Just read them. I don't know where I put them all. I had a bunch of Rolodex cards with images on them that I was going to do that with. But yeah, so that is my book. It is very chunky, but I mean, oddly enough, there's not tons in it. It's chunky because of the lace edging. So yeah, I don't know. You guys can let me know what you think. If it needs something more, or if it's good like this. I don't know. It's out of my comfort zone. I am not a huge Marilyn Monroe fan. I'm not actually a Marilyn Monroe fan at all. But I really enjoyed this. I enjoyed using my laces, and I have a request for another Marilyn Monroe journal, so I need to get started on that. We'll see. I really want to work on my peacock journal before I do another Marilyn Monroe journal, but I don't know what I'm going to do. Any questions or comments, leave them below. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you soon.